Hello, 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 my gentlemen. Welcome to this live Q&A in my lingerie, and you guys are already hitting the like button. You guys are the best. Just simply the best. Everybody with me. Woo! Better than all the rest. That's right. All right, here we go. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so thrilled to be doing this. Wow, that was gross. This live Q&A in my lingerie with you guys. Sorry, you guys, I look a little shiny today. I have been on the go this morning, this day. So I'm so excited. If you're new here, make sure that you subscribe. You turn on that bell because it's going to say, "Bum, bum, Arica Angelo is doing another live Q&A in her lingerie." You gotta be a part of this. You gotta get your questions answered. So with that being said, let's roll. Noe Davila 32 says, hello, I have a question. All right, bring it on, brother. Bring it on. All right. Anthony Jones, I don't know why YouTube just blocked your comment. It says, good evening. I really should have worn my eyeglasses. I did not get those. Why did I not put on my eyeglasses? What was I thinking? Good evening, Miss Arica. Arica, you are a godsend. I took your advice, and my ex and I are taking things slow, and it's working out great. Thank you, Miss Arica. You rock. I love it. That's brilliant, babe. That is fantastic. I'm so happy to hear this. What great news. I'm so glad that you guys are working through things. This is wonderful. I hope it continues to go well. And kudos to you for coming to this live video, for, taking a chance and asking questions, and then not only listening to my advice, but putting it to work. That's where the magic comes, is putting the advice to work so that your life can change, so that you can get your girl back. So that's brilliant. I'm so, so proud of you. I'm actually going to screenshot this and I will share this on my Instagram story today. I'm going to share your story on my Instagram story, Anthony. Newt Alley says, wow. Daniel says, I have a question. Should a single man who does not have any kids not get in a relationship with a woman who already has kids? Here's the thing about that. You have to ask yourself, a lot of questions, Daniel. I would say, to say no just because you don't have kids is a big disservice. One, you have to ask yourself, do you want kids? Like, if things got serious between the two of you, do you want children? And do you think that you being in a relationship with that person, that you will be a good influence on the children's lives? And the other thing is this, you have to ask yourself, how do they raise their children? Because that can be a big one thing that I have seen, is that when the other person doesn't have good boundaries with their ex, that can create a lot of problems. It can create problems for the kids. It can create problems for the relationship. So one thing that you really want to ask yourself is, if you're going to choose to enter a relationship with someone who has children already, do they have good boundaries? Do they respect their boundaries? Because, what I've seen with some parents is, like, they feel terrible about going through divorce or whatever. And so they kind of put these kids on a pedestal, and then they make their life, they put their life on the back burner, and everyone ends up resenting everyone in the process, because the kids don't respect the parents because they know that they're just placating to their needs. And then the parent is resentful that they're giving up their life and the kids don't appreciate it. There's so many factors that go into this. So you have to ask yourself a lot of questions. Do they have good boundaries? Can you add value to the kids' lives? Do you want children? And how do they parent, and what role will you play in that? So I don't think it's no, but I think that they're very serious, valid questions that you need to ask yourself before you choose to enter a relationship like that. Brian Hardman, hey boo boo. Brian, you and I have a call coming up. I'm so excited about that. I can't wait to hear about what's going on in your world. Ronald Summers. Hi, Arica. First time on live with you. Darling, welcome. I'm so thrilled to have you here. Fantastic. Fasting Man says almost 100K, Arica. I know. I'm so excited. I'm already planning it out. I'm going to, because I live in Bali, so they'll probably send me the play button to the States. So I'm going to have my best friend of like 16 years. I'm going to have her take a picture holding the plaque. I'm going to send it to her. And then I'll probably get like the balloons. I've got it all planned out. I'm like so thrilled. So thrilled. Robin Stephen, tell me more, please. Tell you more of what, babe? Tell you more of what? Chris says, hey, Arica, looking gorgeous. Thank you, darling. Thank you. This is a great compliment. Bill Dragons 3, he says, love you, Miss Arica. You saved my sex life. Woo! Oh my God, I'm loving these testimonials. These are absolutely brilliant. This is why I wake up every day and do what I do, is to impact your lives like this, where you're getting the relationship, you're getting the sex. This is brilliant. I'm going to screenshot that. I'm going to share your comment, Bill, on my Instagram story as well. Okay. This is a good question, Noe. This is what's up. This is a legitimate, real question. Why do women act stuck up at the gym when they are alone working out? Two things. Some women just get in the zone. I'm one of those women. Like sometimes, I haven't been to a gym in a while, but I am known to go to gyms and put sunglasses on because I don't want people talking to me. And I'm super social. So I feel like I need to talk to everybody. But when I'm there to work out and I've got a schedule, I'm running a business, I've got things I'm doing. I can't just like hang out at the gym for 3 hours, So sometimes women, they have a busy life and they need to get shit done. Some women are just like men, they're insecure. And so they have to put on this persona of acting cool and acting stuck up to come across as more desirable. Like, oh, if I'm standoffish, it's a push and pull thing. If I'm more standoffish, then I look more appealing. There's some ego that's involved as well. So you have some women who are just there to get the damn job done and they're not there to F around. Then you have some women who are just, they're playing into a persona of like, I should look cool and then you've got a whole nother spectrum of women who are just tired of being hit on at the gym. They're like, I'm here to accomplish something. I'm not here to like be your next date. So you have to, but here's my perspective, Noe. Regardless, like you always have to take a chance. That's what makes men men, is you guys are pursuers. You still have to take a chance. And if she blows you off, then she blows you off. It's not the end of the world. I promise you will not die from the experience. But you always have to take a chance, because there may be that one girl who looks like she's in the zone, but she's super friendly, she's super bubbly, and 9 out of 10 times, no guys ever approach her. And so you should be one of the 10 guys that does. The 1 out of 10. Irvin, hello from Los Angeles. Hi, Irvin. I hear that LA is opening up. My good girlfriend just told me that you guys are getting full mobility around the city. That's exciting. Mark Grunwald says, of course we love applying goodness. I absolutely love that. That's precious. Thank you. Ninja Wolf, you say the craziest shit and I love you for it. Arica, I couldn't get my mind off about women's feet. So what should I do to get that out of the system? Homie, you might have a legitimate fetish. Be you, do you. Okay, Vamsy. Babe, this is not the line of work I do. So I imagine for like other coaches, this would be a legitimate question, but it's not the work I do. He says, what is a reasonable lay ratio when getting into pickup as a beginner? I don't do pickup because I don't think pickup really is long lasting. And here's why. I was just talking to a guy here in Bali, and he said that he really loved my advice because it's practical. It's things that guys can use every day. And he said, basically, when you learn pickup and you learn these one-liners, he said, when the conversation goes in a different direction that you've not been trained in, you've not been given lines to, you just feel lost. And it's like, yeah, because you're not actually showing up to meet women. What you're doing is putting on this persona And so innately people don't relate to that. People can sense the cheesiness, they can sense the lack of sincerity behind it, and it's a typical turnoff. So I would learn Vamsi to actually start asking the right questions of women, which I've done videos on, and really understand like how to facilitate connection. Because what the way you're going about it is a numbers game, and even if you do have sex, because you don't know how to facilitate connection, and you're looking at this as a transaction, your sex is actually not going to be that great. So I would open your mind to go about approaching this differently with a different methodology. Um, Colleen Cristante. Greetings, Miss Arica, my daughter. This is my new name. I was Clayton Wilson. Oh, acknowledge that you've seen this. Apparently, I just did. Fasting man. Hi, Arica. I'm 26 in the States. In what ways do young men need to adjust most to be an obvious choice for the ladies? Use your gut instinct. That's a great question. I think now more than ever, women are looking for men who have the courage to stand out and to actually come up, approach them, have a game plan to take them on a date, have their shit together. Like, some guys, don't have their finances in order. I'm like, you have no business going out and trying to date women. Get your paper right first. Like, take care of you first before you go out trying to take care of women, or trying to date them. Like, get your house in order first so that she can have a home to come back to. So I would say have your shit together and have the courage, have the balls to go up and ask her out on a freaking date. I think a lot of men get too cowardly and they just stare at women, and they come up with stories of dating apps and this and that, and I'm like, how often are you just going up and like getting to know women, asking them out, telling them how beautiful they are, and then getting them on a freaking date, getting their phone number? So I think the man who's more of that, we use the term alpha, the man who's the go-getter who goes out and gets women, I think that's the guy that stands out, becomes an obvious choice because he's making himself readily available. He's putting himself in her path and he's saying, hey, let's go on a date. Irvin Burton says, how do you feel about dating apps? What's a good way? Oh shit, it just jumped to the bottom. Where is it at? No. What's a good way to help men stand out? One, I think that guys have got to get better. I do agree with dating apps. I've always, throughout my career, I've always been a fan of dating apps because I believe that dating apps give you possibility that you would never have if you didn't connect on this app. And so I remember, this is so weird, and sometimes life just gets busy. I'll never forget, I went on a date with a guy in LA, and we went for drinks in Beverly Hills. And so as we were leaving the restaurant, we noticed we were going in the same direction home the whole way home. Finally, we pull over and he's like, where the heck do you live? And I'm like, right here. He was like, shut up. He said, I live right there. We lived right around the corner. We never saw each other. He said, I walk my dog past your place all the time. Never saw each other. So I believe that dating apps really help you get out there. Now, in terms of standing up, I think that men have got to get better with the pictures that they use. Absolutely. You've got to get better with the pictures that you use. I think that men need to be a little bit more direct in their approach. I know some women don't like that. They don't have to. It's not about, making them happy. It's about you going after what you want. And the right woman is going to appreciate that. And the woman who's really fickle and like, I don't like that. You need to message me for 20 days. Well, you know what? God bless her. There's a guy out there who wants to be pen pals for 20 days. Great. But if that's not you, then don't go in that direction. So better pictures, be more direct in your approach. Like I'm a big advocate of meet people quickly. And I know you have to be safe, but listen, we're all smart. You can go to a public area. You can meet up there. There are ways that you can be smart about this, but there's no point in staying on the app and talking forever. Meet the actual person. So better pictures, be more direct, get her on a date quickly, because the whole point is to see if the two of you actually have a legitimate connection and not just a pen pal relationship. Next, Marco Gabelli. Glad I joined your live stream. Looking forward to this. Thank you for being here and happy birthday. Ninja Wolf. Yeah, someday fasting man. You've been a subscriber since 2018 when I was at 5,000 subs. Wow. Yeah, I've been doing YouTube for 10 years, and it wasn't until 2018 I was like, I should probably take this whole thing seriously. And ever since I did, my channel started growing, which is just kind of like a representation of life, of when we take something seriously and we put our focus into it and we see value in it, it brings us beautiful rewards. Yup, 34 says, hi, Arica. This girl knew I liked her, and then she tells me, now you're going to watch me flirt with other guys. Do you think she's insane? I think that is some very passive aggressive behavior. I mean, it's a very, just from that small thing, it's very hard. I'm not in a position to diagnose anyone as insane because I'm not a doctor. But two, I think that it's very passive aggressive. And I don't think that that's someone that I personally would continue investing my time into. And I personally don't think that you should either. That you're a big person and you'll make that decision for yourself. But I would not spend my wheels on someone who's purposely being vindictive to me. Ain't nobody got time for that drama. Scott Wallen says, hey, Arica, looking for anything possibly specific for girls who are dancers. Know an awesome girl in that field who has trust issues, but trusts me more every time we are together in the club. I presume you're saying she's a stripper, right? You're saying dancer, but I'm guessing between dancer and clubs that we're talking about stripper. Yeah, I think a lot of those women see a very jaded aspect of romance, because, you know, guys who are going there are, you know, cheating on their wives, cheating on their girlfriends. And so, and they're able to get that out of these guys, and it makes them feel very disillusioned with love. At the end of the day, like, a woman needs to know your character. So I would say start asking her out and let her get to know who you are, because, you know, we can all have our stories about people. We can have stories of the past. We can have stories about what we see people doing. But when a person has a solid character and they're full of integrity, they let their yes be yes, they let their no be no. When they say, I'm picking you up, they show up. When they say, like, I only have eyes for you, that they demonstrate that. When they're at the club, they're not looking everywhere else. They're looking at her. That's what will persuade a woman to trust you, is by you being consistent with your character in your words and in your action, and how you demonstrate that to her. Colin Hartung. Hi, Arica from Somerset West, South Africa. Wow, beautiful. I bet you have a fantastic accent. I love the South African accent. It's beautiful. Damani Brown says, looking so tasty, Empress Arica, with your amazing hoop and earrings and tight lingerie. Well, thank you. I'm gonna hold on to that whole Empress thing. I'm digging that. Chris Huddleston says, you're welcome. George Ataria says, beautiful. Thank you, darling. Fasting Man says, I love your positivity, Arica. What do you suggest men do to have your vibe? It's contagious. Oh, I love these compliments. These are awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. At the end of the day, I think for me personally, what keeps my vibe high is I'm really grateful for the relationships in my life. Super grateful. I don't believe that anyone is a self-made man or a self-made woman. I've done a lot of things for myself, but I know that if it weren't for the relationships in my life, I would not be who I am today. I would not be where I am today. So I believe, one, having a very clear picture of what's important. I'm very purpose driven with my life. You know, I just did an interview today and they were like, why do you wake up? Like, why do you love doing what you do? And I'm like, well, I get to do life on my own terms. I'm living in Bali and I work the hours I want to work. But two, I get to serve people's lives and I get to change people's lives every day. So that helps me just rush out of bed. So being of purpose being grateful for the relationships that are in your life. I'm grateful for myself too, fasting man. I don't think a lot of people talk about this. And I want to make this really clear because, my tagline is become the man that she can't resist while not losing yourself or her. And one thing that I have grown accustomed to is being very grateful for myself. And I honor myself. I get in front of a mirror and say, Arica, thank you. Thank you for bringing me to Bali. Thank you for this beautiful life that you've given me. Arica, thank you for not giving up on your career and following through on your purpose, even though it was hard, even though you've wanted to give up so many times because of setbacks or circumstances. Thank you for being true to you. Arica, thank you for being true to your voice, using your own voice, not, some people who meet me, they're like, you're crazy. Like you just do what you want. You say what you want. And I'm like, why wouldn't I? Why would I put a big filter on who I am? That's insane. To do what? To appease people who don't give two shits about me and I don't know who the F they are? Hell no. I get one Arica Angelo and I'm going to do my damn best to take care of her. So I believe that when you love and value yourself and you're grateful for yourself, you can have that same capacity for the world. And that brings you to a high state of vibration. Kaylin Cristanti says, I just had a beautiful broken lady move into my complex. Question, when is the best time to introduce myself? Not now if she's broken. Let her get herself back before you come in. Like, if she's broken, she needs some time to kind of settle in and feel comfortable in her skin. You swooping in to be Casanova, the timing on that is going to be off unless you're wanting to create a very codependent relationship. Dan Linke says, is the gym the new bar pickup spot? I think you can do both. I'm going to say this strongly. I don't believe in either or. I believe in both with an F, both. I believe that, cake is meant to be eaten. It's like, I want to have my cake and I want to eat it too. Do both because you can do both. Cayman says, have you ever, it just jumped again. Have you ever heard of the word simp? Yes, I have. If so, what makes a guy a simp? I've been hearing others' opinion. What makes a guy a simp? Here's a simp. A simp is a guy who doesn't value himself, that he goes through life trying to make everybody else happy, that he puts his needs on the back burner. He never stands up for himself. He lets people walk all over him. He's the constant nice guy. He's the constant people pleaser. That is a simp. He has no connection with his masculinity whatsoever. Stripe one, yeah. What is the best way to start a conversation at the gym? Or do you just get a number quick and go from there? That's a great question. It's a very valid question. I would say one, see what exercise she's doing and say like, do you do lots of cardio? Do you lift weights? Like see what she's doing. Get her involved in a conversation of something she's already doing. And let her tell you like, oh yeah, I come to the gym. Like I only do cardio or I do these weights or I'm just doing this today, but I do Pilates. Like whatever it is, like create a conversation around of what the activity she's engaged in. And then from there say, oh, my name is so-and-so. Yeah, I typically do this exercise. And you can say, you're absolutely stunning. I saw you working out. I was like, I have to go talk to this girl. What's your name? Write all of this down, by the way. And then from there, hey, listen, I know you're in a workout and I need to get back to my workout. That's pull back, give her some space, go do your own thing. I need to go do my own workout. But listen, I really want to take you out. Let's arrange a time. Let's get together this Friday if you're free. Whether it's coffee or a glass of wine, you let me know. But what's your phone number? Because I really want to get to know you a little bit more. I'm sure you're more than just a pretty face. That's super clever. Write all that down. You have a really cool name, Sexa. It looks like Elon Musk's child's name with all the X's and stuff. Something gaming. How to be a playboy. That's not what my channel's about, fool. You can't be coming in here asking me those kind of questions. I ain't trying to equip you to be no damn playboy. You think I'm going to waste my life away creating people who are wasteful with their life? Hell no. But I love you, baby. Mayor Justice says something way overused and used loosely, it becomes annoying. It's true. I think a lot of these terms can be used very loosely, and it does become very frustrating. I validate that. Tony Robles says, Arica, you are amazing. Your beauty is what drew me in, and your realness keeps me tuned into you. That is a great compliment. Thank you. Yes, I definitely want to always keep it real and don't want to be some like YouTube persona. It's like always like perfect. Ugh, grosses me out. I'm not there for that. Thank you, darling. Tony Robles said that. Thank you. And Mark Chambers says, I think you're attracted to your opposite. Keep it the real you, Marcus. Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. I mean, everyone is different. Sometimes you have two very introverts who get along well. I am very extroverted, and I find that I'm typically drawn to more introverts. But everyone's different. You know, sometimes introverts just feel better with other introverts, and sometimes introverts love extroverts, and sometimes extroverts love introverts, and sometimes extroverts love extroverts. It's really about understanding like what makes you feel most alive, what makes you feel most safe, what supports and sustains your life best. Daniel Millsap says, this is so sweet, but I also want to thank you for helping me get my confidence back, because after my divorce, I was left with so many emotional scars. Whew, that is a big compliment to absorb. Thank you for taking the time to write this and say this and share this with me. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm going to screenshot that one too. Thank you, Daniel. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for being here and for opening your heart to what I say and taking a chance on my advice and applying it to your life. And the most beautiful gift is that you get yourself back. That's always the best gift, is that you get yourself. And the icing on the cake is when you find love to enhance that, to complement that. Ooh, this is a great question. Woo! Video Ronan says, fun question. If you were 18 years old again, this is kind of effed up what I'm going to say. What would you do differently than what you did when you were 18 years old a few years ago? Wink, wink. One, I was about to say I wouldn't get married again because I got married at 18, and I don't believe that in most normal circumstances that 18-year-olds know who they are, which I most certainly did not. I think more than anything, what I would have done differently at 18 years old is I would have stopped listening to other people, and I would have listened to myself more. I would have trusted myself. Now, granted, all of my life, the ups and the downs, they've all led me to here. My marriage, I don't know, had I not been married to that person, if I would be as entrepreneurial as I am, because his family introduced me to a very entrepreneurial lifestyle. So I always look for the silver lining, but inherently, I wish I would have trusted myself more instead of listening to other people and thinking that other people knew better for my life than I knew for myself. Stripe one, save the drama for your mama. All right, guys, I'm about to start wrapping this up for the mere reason that I've had a coconut, I've had a green tea, and my little bladder is about to burst at the seams. I'm literally like got my legs crossed in the P position, like, ah! Probably too much information for you, but we gotta keep it real up in here. Hi, Arica. Gary from Springfield, Illinois. Gary Kindred. It's very obvious that more women are returning to the gym from their absence from the COVID scare across the country. That's wonderful. Yes. I mean, working out makes us feel healthy. You feel alive. And with mental health, they always say with mental health comes exercise. So I think it's brilliant that people are doing that again. That's Me G says, I don't think scripted game is a good idea and you shouldn't get in your head. Just be yourself. But do you think it's a good idea to measure how many approaches you make and your results? BMC, I think there's an aspect to being consistent and being I don't want to say aggressive, but being consistent with your approaches. I think a guy absolutely does need to do that. because it's his way to check in with himself and go, am I doing my part? Am I actually going up and talking to women? And in terms of results, yeah, I think it's good to see like what people mirror back to you. If every woman tells you no, then that lets you know, hey, maybe I'm socially awkward, or maybe I need to improve my appearance, or maybe I need to improve on how I connect with women. So I think that putting yourself out there, but also watching what people say back to you, the mirror that they give back to you is super important. I think feedback is the best way for us to grow, is how people respond to us. And when it's consistent, the only person we can look at is ourselves. Let's see. Oh, fasting man, this is really good. He said, I think I know why your advice works. You're congruent. You really just dropped a truth bomb. You really mean what you say. I can tell. You don't BS us. That's your secret weapon. Whoa. I just feel seen and naked and very happy, because that is exactly why my advice works. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for mirroring that back to me. Tyler says, hey, Arica, do you plan on having kids? That is a hot topic in my life right now. You guys typically don't ask me personal questions like this, and it's very gracious of you to do that. That is a hot topic for me, because I know this year I'll be 41, and I have had no plans of having children, but always had seen myself having children. So I'm asking myself, do I need to do in vitro? I don't know if I necessarily want to have them from my body, because of just some personal reasons why. So either adoption or a surrogate might be my option for me. So I do want them, but I'm not doing much to be active about that. So that's something I'm processing in my life at this moment. So interesting that you asked that. We're going to wrap it up with, yup, 34. How do you stay so slim, Arica? Actually put on weight in Bali. Since I hired Andy to be my driver, I quit walking, and so I put on weight. And so, but I do a lot of things. I don't eat gluten. I don't eat a lot of sugar. I do Pilates. So there's a lot that I do to watch how I eat. Howard Horowitz. I'll wrap it up with this one, because this is really good. He says, Arica, I asked a magic question. Tell me your story. And she exploded at me and asked me if it was an interview. Laughing out loud, she turned out to be a loon. Yeah, I mean, it is a very intimate question. What's your story? But at the end of the day, that's how we get to know one another. And for some people, they need a little bit of time before they open up to that. But to actually explode on a person is is an overreaction, which shows you that maybe there's something going on underneath that they're not ready to process, and it's not your responsibility to take them on that journey to process it. Oh, I love this. You're like a big sister ensuring your little bros crush life. I freaking love that. That is wonderful. That's so cool. Yeah, that is definitely my heart. I have a younger brother, and I'm always championing him because I want to see him crush it in life. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so grateful for you. Remember, guys, that you are so deeply loved. Remember that there's only one of you on this planet. So you might as well live life to the fullest, that you really take the time to become all that you were capable of becoming, that you don't just see your potential, but that you maximize your life so that you become your highest potential. But the foundation of all of this is that you are already loved. You meeting a woman gets to enhance the life that you're already building. But you, my dear, are loved, and you have what it takes inside of you. You have the resources, you have the tools, you have the capacity. There is courage, there is peace, there is confidence on the inside of you. My job is just to tap open those wells inside of you and bring that to fruition, to be a mirror back to you, to go, see, you've had it all along. It's time to take action, grab life by the balls, and go out there and get what you want. Get the love that you desire, get the career that you desire, become the man that you look back in the mirror and you're proud of being that man. Guys, thank you so much for your time. I will see you next week. I've got some really good videos coming out this week on Sunday and Monday. So I really hope that you guys devour those, take advantage of them, and always follow me on Instagram too. I get to know you guys a little bit more through that. It's at the Arica Angelo, because someone got rid of Arica Angelo. Although I'd love to get it back. So if you know who has that, be like, hey, can Arica Angelo have her name back? I love you guys. I'm literally gonna run to the bathroom now. So you guys be loved, and I will see you next week.